Knowing the interior drawings or architectural drawings. Understanding a set of architectural drawing is critical to efficient and accurate work. Construction drawings.
This video is from Laureate Design Lab, School of Design, Art, Architecture, Planning, Consulting and Research.
Knowing the interior drawings or architectural drawings. Understanding a set of architectural drawing is critical to efficient and accurate work. Construction drawings must have a certain acceptable level of quality to qualify for engineering or design of certain project. It will be a big challenge to work with incomplete drawings, and also if it is containing numerous errors in presenting drawings. It's been seen that those who do not consider orthographic projection methods while drawing views may end up in creating mess out of drawings. The concept of horizontal plane, vertical plane and profile plane, that is HP, VP and PP, is having profound impact on the error-free drawings. It is important to note that every design firm has their unique way of creating drawings, but there are some general guidelines and conventions that most design firms follow while making drawings, and those are attributed title block, annotation symbols, annotated hatching, annotative dimensioning, annotative leader, and annotated text, etc. People are crazy for 3D rendered drawings, but 2D drawings gives far more information or data than 3D rendered views, because 3D rendering visualizers would ever hardly care for execution and actual outcome of the project. Number of drawings goes in hundreds depending on the size of the project. If all sets are counted, it may even cross thousands or thousands. Therefore, it's compelling need to work tons on 2D drawings rather unduly giving importance to only 3D drawings. It's generally done by students of design and fresher or novice in this particular field. Design students virtually live, eat and drink vector or line graphics on a daily basis. Since architectural layouts are generally printed black and white, and the only way to differentiate between the lines of the layout elements is by adjusting the line weight, line color, hatching scale, hatching color, text annotation, text color and architectural symbols, etc. The Construction Specification Institute (CSI), the National Institute of Building Sciences (NIBS), and the American Institute of Architects (AIA) have joined their efforts to publish and promulgate the National CAD standard. In addition to this standard, some architecture or architectural firms have established their own standards, which are often a variation of the national standard, altered to fit the way the firm works, the way they want to work with the drawings. General Services Administration (GSA), which has the GSA CAD standard available as a PDF on its website, which can be referred for the making of the drawing as per the international standard. New ways to deliver architecture or architectural products are on the horizon. An example is Building Information Models (BIM), which store information in 3D graphic databases. Organizations such as the International Alliance for Interoperability (IAI) are working on standards for building construction objects. Drawing and drafting are forms of visual language that use lines, pictorial images, and symbols to convey specific meanings. Like spoken language, written language, and body language, this visual language has its own unique applications. In the design field, drawing is used as technique for developing and communicating ideas. Preliminary CAD sketches are used to initiate and explore basic concepts. Drawing is thus a means of communication used by designers to effectively convey ideas and converse with one another about how to turn them into reality. Drafting is a particular type of drawing that conveys specific information about something's size, composition, and assembly, or maybe other exacting characteristics. Drafting is usually a means to an end. It's a guide on how to make something. For these reasons, drafting is founded on a number of basic premises and rules. A draft person's specialized drawings, generally referred to as working drawings or construction drawings. It assists in the construction of a physical interior environment or building. Construction drawings require a great deal of effort to draw, as they must be clear, concise, and accurate, with high quality lines and legible dimensions and notes. Line types. Lines are drawn to describe objects, hidden conditions, and important relationships between components and space. A line drawn on a surface has both direction and weight. The weight of a line refers to its thickness and intensity. A line can also be continuous or dashed. The direction can be straight, curved, diagonal, or a combination of these. In drafting, continuous lines of various weights are used to represent objects and major elements such as structural walls and columns. Dotted lines are usually used to denote objects hidden from view. However, they can also be used to denote other things such as a wheelchair turning radius or ceiling height or changes on a floor plan. The following are the most commonly used line types. Line weight refers to the blackness or intensity and width of a line on the drawing surface. In general, heavy or dark lines are used to represent cutting planes and the contours or the outer boundaries of an object. In a floor plan view, it is often the walls that are drawn with the darkest lines in order to define the spaces. These lines appear to be the closest to the viewer and are perceived as major elements. Medium and lighter lines appear to be farther away from the viewer and are used for secondary emphasis. Drawings Interior Design Project. Drawings for interior design projects generally use three line widths: thick, dark, medium, and thin, light lines. Thick lines are generally twice as wide as thin lines. Usually it is 0.8 mm wide. Thin lines are approximately 0.4 mm wide, and medium lines falls in between these two extremes. Thick, dark lines. Thick, dark lines are used for major sections, details, border lines, and cutting plane lines. A thick, intense line can represent the walls on a floor plan or structural members such as fireplaces or stairways, the outline of a ceiling on a reflected ceiling plan, or the outline of a building on a site plan. Thick, intense lines are also used to emphasize an object or element in the drawing. Medium lines. Medium weight lines are used for hidden objects and are usually drawn dashed or dotted. They are also used for outlining the planes of objects and for center lines as well as for furniture and equipment. Thin light lines. Thin light lines are generally used as guidelines, drawn to help line up certain details or to help with lettering weight or the height. These lines are barely visible. Lines that are little darker are used for dimension and extension lines, leaders, door swings, and brake lines. Drafting standards, abbreviations, and symbols. Our designers' drawings are used to communicate specific information to many other individuals, such as owners, architects, engineers, and builders. To do this effectively, a number of drafting standards, abbreviations, and symbols have been developed over time that have become uniformly acceptable. Although an office may use variations of the standard conventions, but most follow some versions of these conventions. Many construction terms are abbreviated to save drawing space and eliminate the need for detailed drawings or notes. Example is the commonly used term above finished floor, which is abbreviated as AFF and used in floor plans and electrical plans. There's another term which is called finished floor level, FFL. Now let's talk about symbols. Symbols are used to represent objects that cannot be depicted accurately or would take too much time to draw. For example, the details of a window in plan or a wall electrical outlets are impractical to draw with clarity at such a small scale. These are represented in the plan by an acceptable symbol that is cross-referenced to a legend or note to more clearly define the object. Various components such as sinks, doors, windows, and electrical devices are drawn as symbols. Sections cut through the building and materials are depicted using common symbols to represent their elements rather than drawing them as they might appear. For example, a section through a piece of plywood is shown schematically instead of drawn realistically to show the intricate layers of the cross-grained wood veneers and glue. Symbols for materials are often drawn differently in a plan view and section view. In most cases, an attempt is made to portray as closely as possible what the actual cross-section would look like.